say good morning as well. Anyway, welcome to yoga on this Monday morning. Rather frigid outside, so we're gonna do a little warming up today. We're gonna go through a couple of sun salutations. We're gonna take the first one pretty slow and break it down a little bit into different segments, and then we'll do one or two more just kind of as a flow, so you can get the hang of that. And those you can do anytime. Um, just it just takes a couple minutes. They're a really great way to work every single muscle in the body. So let's start out by warming ourselves up, quieting the mind, tuning in to the breath, and just relax in a simple cross-legged pose. Nice deep breaths. And keep that back nice and straight, shoulders relaxed. Let's go ahead, take a nice deep breath in, arms overhead, reach up through the fingers, and exhale, release. One more time, inhale, arms up, and exhale, release. Let's go ahead and take that left hand to the right knee, reach behind you with the right hand. And back to center. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind. And release. Let's go ahead and come up into a squat. And we're going to get that back nice and loosened up. So just if you want to put the hands in front, you can. Otherwise, just keep them gently resting on the legs. And let's try to just take 5 or 6 nice deep breaths here. Go ahead and put the hands back down and just press the insides of the knees into those elbows and just kind of rock very gently from side to side. This is really a good deep stretch for the hip flexors and inner thighs. And then go ahead and let's come over onto hands and knees. And we're going to warm up the back a little bit more by doing a cat-cow. So we're going to start by taking a deep breath in. Let that belly dip towards the floor. Lift the head up. And on the exhale, arch the back, tuck the chin in. And release. One more time. Inhale, dip the belly, lift the head. And exhale, arch the back, tuck that chin in. And release. And let's go ahead and extend that left arm out, right leg behind. And release. And other side, right arm out, left hand or leg behind. And release. And let's go ahead and come up into a standing forward bend. And just let the whole top of your body just hang loose and relax. Anytime if you feel too much tension back here or in the lower back, you can bend the knees a little bit. And then very slowly start to roll all the way up. And we're going to come into a mountain pose. Let's go ahead and take both those arms up, left wrist in the right hand. Nice stretch over to the right side. Back to center and release. Inhale, arms up. Right wrist in the left hand. Nice stretch to that left side. Back to center and release. Let's take those feet a little wider apart. Hinge forward from the hips. Coming into a forward bend, either with your knees bent or straight. Let's go ahead and walk the hands over to that left side. And back to center. And over to that right side. And back to center. And then slowly roll yourself back up. Bring those feet together. And I'm going to turn to the side. We're going to start with our first sun salutation. So we always start in mountain pose. Take a deep breath in, arms up. And then bring the arms down, come down into standing forward bend. And then we're going to do a flat back, so just straighten the back. Bring the hands up to the thighs. And then back to forward bend. And we're going to step back into a plank pose. And this is what it kind of transfers into our first upward dog. So you can do this either by coming to your knees and lowering down, or if you want to do it from the plank, you just lower all the way down at once. So it's up to you which way you want to do that. And then for upward dog, if you're feeling a little bit tight or restrained in your back, you can come up just to the elbows. If you're feeling flexible, you can come all the way up, lifting the pelvis off the floor, so just the legs are on the floor. And then come back. And same with transitioning into downward dog here. From hands and knees, we just push ourselves up and settle into downward dog. Nice deep breaths. Push the body away from those hands, down through the legs. And then walk the hands forward, back into standing forward bend, up to flat back, forward bend, and then reverse the hands all the way back up and release. So we're going to do 2 or 3 of these whole salutations. Feel free to do them, number 1, at your own pace, and number 2, with any modifications that you need. So if you don't want to be in full plank pose, you can go on your knees, modify like I showed you with upward dog. And with downward dog, you can always come down to your knees and take a rest. So I'm going to move through them at a pretty good pace, but just slow it down if you need to, okay? Start in mountain pose, nice deep breath in, arms all the way up. Exhale, forward bend. Flat back. And forward bend. Step the feet back into plank, all the way down to the floor, up into upward dog, and back into downward dog. And then walk the feet forward into standing forward bend and flat back. And down to forward bend. And then reverse the arms all the way up and release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, flat back. And forward bend. Hands down into plank pose. Lower down to the ground and up into upward dog. And back into downward dog. And walk the feet forward into standing forward bend. And flat back. And forward bend. And reverse the arms all the way up. And release. Let's do that all one more time. Inhale, arms up. And down into forward bend. And flat back. And forward bend. And come down into a plank. Lower to the floor. Upward dog. And come back. Downward dog. We're going to stay here for a minute. So just let the breath slowly, naturally slow down a little bit. And then slowly walk the feet forward, come into forward bend. Up to flat back. And forward bend. And reverse the arms all the way up and release. Nice work. Now let's turn towards the front again and let's just go through our series of Warrior 1 to Warrior 2 into the side angle pose. So we're getting that body all warmed up today. So let's start with that left heel back, right toes forward, hips over that front leg, bend the right knee, and just bring both arms up. And into Warrior 2. And right arm down to the right knee into side angle pose. And back up. Let's do the other side. Right foot back, left foot forward, hips over that left leg. Soft bend in that left knee, arms up into Warrior 1. And turn into Warrior 2. And down into side angle. And come back up. And let's do that cycle once more on each side, and just see this time if maybe you can get a little bit deeper into the stretches. So let's start out in that warrior one. And warrior two. And bring that arm down to the leg into side angle pose. And back to center. And other side. Right heel down, left knee bent. Come into warrior one. And into warrior two. And into extended arm pose. Back to center. Walk the feet together. Let's take a nice stretch overhead. Bring the arms down. And go ahead and come back down into a seated position. And now that we spent some time getting that body nice and warm, let's say hi to Hazel. And we're gonna cool down with some stretches here. And Tegan, okay, all right, come on. Dog mom life. And if you notice that after you go through those stretches or those movements like that and you're feeling any tension in, your back or your neck or something doesn't feel quite right, feel free to always shoot me a message and let me know about that, because there are always things we can do to further modifications and whatnot. So don't be afraid to ever reach out to me as well. And let's go ahead and keep that butt on the floor. Let's walk those hands out. Just try to keep the shoulders down. And then over to that left side. And you don't have to have both hands or hand on each side of the knee, but that's just kind of the direction we want to go here. Back to center. And then over to the right side. And back to center. And then slowly come on up. Let's go ahead and stretch out both legs and just walk the hands down into a nice stretch, keeping the toes pointed up. And slowly come up. Let's bend that left leg down. Come down over the right side. And back up. And then do the other side, left leg out. And slowly come back up. And let's go ahead and come down onto that back. Bring both legs in and just gently squeeze them in towards the chest. And then release, extend that left leg out and bend that right knee in. And remember, when you're bending the one knee in at a time, it's not just towards the chest, it's kind of towards that, in this case, the right armpit, and that gives a really good stretch for the whole leg. And then release, left leg in, squeezing that in towards the chest and that left armpit. And release. Let's bring that right knee in again. Take the right hand, place it on the inside, and just press that leg open towards the right, keeping the left side grounded. And then bring the knee to center, left hand to the outside of the right knee, and bring it over the body to the left. Back to center. Release that right leg. Left leg comes in. Left hand to the inside. Press that leg open towards the left, keeping the right side grounded. And then bring the knee to center and take that right hand, pressing on the outside of the knee gently over to the right. Back to center, release that left leg. Let's go ahead, walk the feet together, let both knees drop open, and bring the hands overhead, stretching out through the fingertips. Nice deep breaths. Try to let those shoulders relax into the floor. And then bring those arms around and let the hands rest on the belly. Nice deep breaths. Each inhale, gently press that belly out and expand. And each exhale, just let that belly empty. Just pretend like it's sinking right into the floor. And let's keep that left hand on the belly. Bring the right hand to the chest. And just feel the wave of breath starting in the left hand in the belly, expanding up through the chest in the right hand. And softly exhale through the nose. And keep that right hand on the chest and bring the left hand up to the forehead. Continue to feel the rise and fall of the belly and the chest. And just let the hand relax the forehead. Let go of any tension you're holding between the eyes. And then very slowly, let those arms fall to the side and extend one leg at a time. Completely relaxing the body into the floor, but feeling the warmth and the energy that you've created. And then slowly start to move the fingers and the toes. And bend the knees. Let's slowly roll ourselves up and come into a simple cross-legged pose. We're going to keep the eyes closed. And we're just going to extend the arms out to the sides, palms up. And then bring the arms together, palms together. Back open to the sides. And release back down. One more time, arms out to the side, palms up. Bring the arms overhead. Back out to the sides. And release. And let's just tuck that right hand under the right leg. Extend up with that left arm. And release back down. Left hand under the leg. Let's reach up with that right arm. And back down. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. Bring the arms overhead. Bring the hands down the center to the chest. And I want you just to stay here for a few breaths. Focus on keeping that mind as clear as possible. Taking this warmth and energy into the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you on Wednesday. Namaste.